Joining us by Zoom this morning, we have Nancy Brook from Billings Best Real Estate. Good morning, Nancy. Now, we have some questions about the real estate market right now, and this first question is a big one. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? Or is it a bad time to do both? What do you think?
Well, it's a good question, and it's one that all of us in the real estate business have been wondering about what happens post shutdown. And I will tell you, so far we just have 1 week of data, and it looks like sales and new houses under contract are holding steady. The only thing we've seen an uptake in is some of the sellers are choosing to withdraw things from the market, meaning there's less inventory. The buyers are still out there, they're still looking. Again, we're all trying to be safe, but it is still happening in the real estate market here in the Billings area.
And as far as the process from start to finish, is this something that's going to take longer and people should be ready for?
Well, I think the biggest thing we're seeing is that lenders are taking a little bit more time to validate employment, even up towards the end, because they want to make sure that the buyer is still qualified. And also, it takes a little bit longer with the title process, but it's not extending closing so much at this point. Typically, we're about 6 weeks out when we have a loan, and we're still seeing 6, maybe 7 weeks out at this point.
All right, and I have one last question for you here. As far as open houses go, we would see a lot of them throughout the city. Is that something that's still happening right now through this pandemic, or are realtors trying to be more cautious and safe and holding off on those for now?
Definitely both. We are trying to be more cautious. Typically, we'd have, definitely over 100 this time of year. And last weekend I checked and there were around 40 to 50 open houses. A lot of them are new construction. And one thing I will say is that we are doing things different, one couple at a time. We're asking no children come to showings, and we're being very careful about wiping doorknobs off and making sure exposure is to a minimum. So we definitely are still in business. So don't be afraid if you really do want to buy, we still can make it work. But we are, of course, being cautious to everybody just to make sure that everyone stays safe, because that's the most important thing.
All right. Well, Nancy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really do appreciate it. Always great to hear from you, and maybe we'll be checking back in with you near the end of all this. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Sounds great, Victoria.